When Marvel first announced that they were making a Thunderbolts movie, I was pretty interested. I'm no comics expert, but I had the vague understanding that they were basically Marvel's Suicide Squad. A bunch of their villains teaming up as like an anti-Avengers, which is something I've been wanting since the first Avengers film. But then they announced the team lineup, and I got really disappointed. I was looking forward to a crazy group with a big variety of skills and powers. But this was pretty much just 3 Captain Americas, 2 Black Widows, and a Ghost. Half of these characters barely qualify as villains, if at all. And there's only one person here with anything more interesting than just punching and shooting. But then the film actually came out, I watched it, and my reaction was more or less,
okay, that was really good.
Turns out they didn't need characters with wacky powers, because this movie was way more focused on characters with interesting pasts, and they utilized them excellently. One of the major elements of this film is its themes that center around hard-hitting mental health issues, especially depression and suicidal thoughts. The way it's addressed is actually really meaningful and relatable for people who have gone through these struggles. Yes, we're still talking about the new Marvel. Every character in this played a part in getting those themes across. They do an excellent job of showing what everybody's been through and what it's done to their mental state by this point. Especially Florence Pugh's Yelena, who's kind of the center of the film. And they use the team aspect as a great way of showing the importance of letting others in and not facing these problems alone. But enough of that heavy stuff. What about some of the lighter stuff? The fun and humor that Marvel is known for? Well, it's pretty good too. The jokes aren't super focused on, and they're not like laugh out loud funny, but I think they work their way in a lot more naturally than in most Marvel fare, because they don't do as much of the usual quippy one-liner. Pause for laugh. The humor is built a lot more on how their different personalities all interact. And I know I complained about the samey powers earlier, but they do an excellent job of making the action interesting by showing the different ways that they use generally the same abilities. And it helps that they have a really cool threat to go up against, who not only has fun powers to watch, but is genuinely interesting to learn about, and works excellently into the themes that I talked about earlier. Also, the effects on his powers, while simple, look amazing. The last thing I want to talk about is if you're invested in where the whole story of the MCU is going, you'll enjoy this, because it has some cool implications for the future. Especially with the true meaning behind that asterisk in the title, which I won't spoil for you, even if the marketing already has. Just 2 days after release. Like, come on, guys. Really, if anything, I think this movie's a few years too late. As it is, this is the finale of Phase 5, when it should have been the finale of Phase 4. A lot of these plot threads that it's wrapping up were set up in that phase, and this is the first time they're coming up in this phase. And we're at the end. I don't know, I just feel like this should have come out about 2-3 years ago. But we have it now, and it's excellent anyway, and it's actually got me excited for the future of Marvel. So, I gotta say, Thunderbolts? More like Thunder Gas.